this today or yesterday. I want to just get right into it. So today is my supply and demand guide for beginner traders, and I'm just kind of sharing what worked for me. I've been trading for over 6 years. I've only became profitable in the last 2 years. I haven't been before I traded. Now I trade supply and demand, and I trade smart money concepts. But before then, I traded this trend line strategy with this Fibonacci, and then before then I was in this academy called IML. But yeah, guys, I'm glad I found the new way I trade, because smart money concepts and supply and demand is way better than all these other strategies. And indicator stuff works too. They all work too, but for me personally, I like this better. And so I just want to go ahead and show you guys what I'm going to get into. So yeah, so the key component of supply and demand is basically volatility. So what I mean by volatility is, you can look at volatility as when you get on an Xbox or a PlayStation. If you play games, if you play games in your life at all, or when you get online somewhere, when you get online on social media or on Xbox or the PlayStation, there's usually an icon that says you're online, right? And you can only play with people if you're looking to play multiplayer with people online. And the same thing can be applied to forex. So if you're trading smart money and supply and demand, we're thriving off of volatility, because we need volatility to be able to trade, because volatility is what moves the market and creates that supply and demand, because usually supply and demand zones are zones that have medium to high volume that create demand, because the demand is what moved the market in the first place, to continue or to start the trend for you to even get into the trade. And so what I mean by that is the first thing we all know is we need to know the trend in order to get in the trade, right? And you guys, some of you may trade trend lines to get in your supply and demand. Maybe you guys use moving averages. I just use market structure. So I look at the most relevant recent highs and lows, and I trade the range in between those highs and lows, which are my recent high, my recent low. So for example, if I'm buying, I always want to buy low. And what I mean by buy low is buy on the lower part of the range. So usually market structure. So for example, if we look at the market, sorry guys about that noise. If we look at the market, if we're going up, this is healthy price action. Okay, boom, boom. That is called, a bullish market. And up structure, market structure is going up. And so to continue, what I would do to get in a trade here is, previously, if you looked at before we went up here, where did the market go where I'm circling? It went down on this part of the range. It was low. And so it was also at a cheap price. So if we were in a real scenario, if you look to the right here and you look at the numbers right here, the lower we go in the range, the lower the numbers get. So 148, 147, and yeah, so basically when I trade, here's how I would do my market structure. Sorry guys, I'm just a little foggy headed right now. So my most recent high is where price is right now, okay? So that's right here. So I would do it like this, okay? And the most recent low is here. And so as you can see, between that high and low, this would be our price range. Like if you were in school and you were doing coordinates in math or something, or in this, sorry, but if you're doing coordinates or geometry, basically, you mark out the, this is the most previous recent high, and then this is the most recent low. And so in total we have 4 pieces of market structure. So I'm not going to buy here because we're at the top. So usually when the markets are up, like on the news and the markets are green, people have FOMC, which stands for fear of missing out. And so what happens at the top is people are in fear because, like, oh, it's going to be green. And people that don't know nothing about the market tend to invest when things are at the top of the market. Like when the news is like, for example, Bitcoin is at all-time highs, and then everybody starts buying it. So, but the thing is, they should have bought early before that news even came out. And so what I like to do is when price is at the top, I tend to wait and be patient for price to come back down to the lower part of the price range, which is at this most recent low, because I always like to, when I'm buying, I always like to be close to the most recent low. And then once it's at the most recent low in this area, I look for entry points based off of what I trade, which is order blocks, and I also trade gaps, and which are my supply and demand zones essentially. And then I enter off of those with my risk management, and then what I do is I expect a reversal, which I usually enter right here. So if this was my trade, I would be entering hold on, if this was my trade, I would be entering right here. So at the low. So basically, it's like buying a dip. You want to buy low and sell high. That's all we're doing. That's all supply. So buy low, sell high. That's because if you buy, let's for example, if the market's high and you buy up top, there's not going to be much room for you to make money because it's already at the top. It's going to go back down, and so that's how I do it. And then to determine that low and that high, I do two things. Number one, like I said, look for market structure on specific time frames depending on whatever you're trading. And number two, use the site Forex Factory. So if you're looking to trade Forex and then you're trading, like for today, we had US dollar news. Okay, so the reason you see orange and red instead of yellow is because since I trade supply and demand or SMC concepts, I need volatility to move the market because this creates the zones, and this basically creates the setup. The news creates my setups, so I can either enter before or after the news based off my setup that I find. And right now, today was US dollar news, so the only things I would be trading are US dollar news. And I'm actually looking to get into this trade right here on USD CAD at that box right there, that zone, and I'm gonna actually point it out to you guys. This zone right here is where I'm looking to get into right now. And because US dollar moved, and also trade with the DXY, the dollar index, because that also helps you know what the dollar is doing. And it's also a major hack if you're trading SMC, because then you can see what the dollar is doing in all these other pairs. And so yeah guys, so the key components to trading supply and demand are going to be the news. So I only trade 5 to 7 to 8 pairs, and so I would recommend you guys do the same because you'll get analysis paralysis. So once you have your 7 8 pairs based off this schedule, which is the economic calendar, you will know what's moving. So the red and orange pair stands for the volatile currencies that are actually going to move and create the zones we're looking for, whether you're trading supply and demand, SMC. And then you're going to go back on the chart and then choose. I added every single Forex pair that exists in another section on the folder on TradingView. And right here, you can choose every week 7 8 pairs, and then once you have those, basically you can go and trade with those and look for setups based off those pairs, based off the week, and make sure all the pairs have currencies in them that are actually moving for the week based off the Forex Factory schedule, and that's going to help you become way more profitable. So yeah guys, I hope this video was helpful. And yeah, if you I know it was kind of like ditzy at the beginning, but yeah, just I hope you guys fast forward and hopefully stay to the end and found out some value. But peace, I hope you guys found this helpful. I also have I don't have a course, I have a free community. I don't do courses because I want you guys to be interactive with the community and have one-on-one. I do one-on-one. That's my paid offer. You do have to pay for that. It's in the description, and I do have an ebook which is also paid, but I don't charge for my group. You guys can go and enter. There's plenty of value. There's plenty of YouTube videos for you guys to learn from as well. But I hope this video helped you guys, and yeah, peace.